So I would ask them like, yo, what are a few goals, et cetera, et cetera. Then I would like, okay, that's pretty nice, but let's get into the actual user. So I would ask like, who am I building this for? Like, I understand that it's, for Americans, for people who work from home, but what type of people are these? Like, they're like, oh well, it's going to be developers who work in tech. Okay, so only developers who work in tech. Just to say, it's going to be developers. Going to be devs. And where do these devs, what are their age, gender, occupation, and like what are some of the complications they might have? Well, these are people who are 22 to 45 years old. They live in San Francisco. San Fran. They live in San Fran, right? The Mecca, right? San Fran. And these devs typically work like 60 hours a week. Oh wow, that's a lot of hours. Yeah, these devs work 60 hours a week because, places in San Francisco are crazy. They work 60 hours a week. They don't really have time to go out and meet people. Don't have time. Okay, I'm gonna put that over here. I'm gonna go to another slide. Don't have time. That's important to meet people because they work in 60-hour weeks. Sometimes they work on the weekend. Sometimes work on weekend. Okay, and I'll write that down. And I would ask, are they male, female? And they're like, oh, they're both. They're all genders. All developers are gendered. All developers are gendered. The only disability that they have is their eyes are bad because they're always looking at a screen. Possible only wears glasses. So I'm thinking like, oh, maybe we can partner with Warby Parker later. I'm like, oh, solution. Okay, that's the line of thinking I have. Glasses is not spelled correctly. A as is. Okay. All right. And so that's their occupation. So the type of user that we're kind of looking for, this will be me like kind of summarizing the user for myself, but also to let them know that I'm still engaged in this conversation. And so like, so you're saying the users are developers who are 22 to 45. They work about 60 hours a week, and they live in San Francisco. What kind of I would say San Francisco or any major tech city. Okay. San Francisco, any major tech city. They work about 60 hours a week, and some of them are even working on the weekends. And because of these, because of the working on the weekends, all the hours they put in, they don't really have a lot of time to meet people. Okay, like okay, so I summarized that with them. They're like, yeah, that's kind of our user, like developers who don't really have a lot of time, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, great. And then we go to my assumptions, right? I'm like, okay, so these developers work a lot of time, work on the weekends. Are they typically single? Like, are they single? Are these developers single? They be like, yeah, they're single. They don't have a lot of time to meet people. Some are married, but we definitely want to tackle the single developers. So they are single. Okay, great. And so we also heard that they don't have a lot of time to meet people. Are these developers, are they typically meeting people online? Are they typically meeting people more in person? Like, I already know this app is for people to socialize in person, but is there opportunities for people to connect online first before they meet in person? They're like, no, we definitely want to have people connect more online. Okay, great. So I already knew that. We're going to stick to the prompt, but okay. So they're single. And do they have like any animals? Do they have any pets? Yeah, they have pets. Yes. Yes. they have pets. Mostly dogs. Dogs take a lot of time. So that'll be no, like, they don't have a lot of time to meet in person. They're single. They have an animal. That's something else they have to take care of. So they can't really be out for a long time, right? Because one, they don't have a lot of time, and two, they have a pet to take care of. And so thinking about the application, these meetings, they cannot be long. They can't be 4-hour meetings. They have to be like 30 minutes to an hour meeting and whatever. And yeah, and also think about the location. Like, these meetings can't be too far away as well. They can't be like an hour away. If and I stay an hour, and I drive back an hour, that's 3 hours of my day that I left my dog at home. So you got to remember that too. So you're kind of thinking that. So when you're thinking about your solution, kind of remember that. Okay, I made an assumption. Okay, great. So I feel good about the user. I feel good about the assumption. And then I'm going to move on to like user needs and pain points. And this section has a lot of questions, so therefore I have them off to the side. Then I would go through my questions like this, like, hey, when and where are these users using the product? Well, since they work from home, Eric, they are using this product at home, or when they have free. This video is brought to you by Springboard. Hey guys, if you have ever been wanting to make the transition from being graphic designer, teacher, truck driver, whatever, to being a UX designer, you gotta try Springboard. You just have to try it. I did Springboard. That's how I got my start. That's how I made the transition. That's how I got things done. That's how I got my first job. I took the project that I did in Springboard, put it on my portfolio, submitted that, and then I got a job interview. I'm not saying it's easy like that, but that's kind of how it happened for me. So if you guys are looking to make a career change and you want to switch over to user experience, data analytics, whatever the heck you want to do, Springboard has it for you. Springboard is pretty cool. They offer a mentor one-on-one, so you get to meet with a mentor once a week, which is pretty cool. I'm also a mentor at Springboard, so if you sign up, you might get me. Who knows? Also, they offer a job guarantee, which is pretty cool, meaning that if you don't get a job, 6 months after you get your certification or after you graduate, they will give your tuition back. They will give all that back, which is pretty cool. Also, because you are an Ugly Unicorns listener, you will get $1,000 off your course when you use my coupon code at checkout. It is Ugly Unicorns SB1000. That is UGLYUNICORNSSB1000. Yes, because you are Ugly Unicorns listener, you get $1,000 off your course. So go be a UX unicorn, go be an Ugly Unicorn, and sign up with Springboard. I'll see you there. Time to join a group. Groups, bro, GROUP. Join a group. And how long? Then I would kind of go off and and how much time were they kind of spending on this application on average? We would say they're probably spending about 10-20 minutes. So they spend 10 to 20 minutes on the app. So this lets me know they're not really spending a lot of time in the app, because they're just kind of quickly looking at a list of things, and they want to just quickly go through them. And then, okay, so that actually is one of my next questions. And so how much time do they have, and where are they going to go? So they spend about 20 to 20 minutes on the app. And yeah, this goes into this. Users typically want to find a group that is close by. And okay, another one is actually I'm gonna put this over here. Oops. I would say that was close by. Users don't want to drive more than 30 minutes to join a group meeting. Okay, great. So now we know some pain points about the user. They want to be close by. They want to find a group that's close by, and they do not want to drive more than 30 minutes. I don't blame them. I live in Atlanta. It's a shit storm. But anyways, and here's another question I would just go through these questions like this. And what are their emotions, and what emotions do they experience? They experience right now they are kinda lonely, and I ain't gonna try to spell this. Anxious, a little nervous, and the RVOUS, a little nervous, uneasy, I guess. But they are also excited to leave the house. So now that we know users, they feel kind of lonely, they're anxious, they're a little uneasy, but they are still excited to go out and leave the house and meet new people, right? So that's something to remember. And then I would ask, them as well, what is motivating them to solve the problem? I would probably say like, being lonely, working too much, COVID 19, being locked up in the house for too long. So these are some of the things that they would probably tell you. And as they're telling you these different things, make sure that you're writing them down and make sure that you're talking out loud. So that way they know that you received it, you understand it, and you're moving along with them. And then the last question I would ask them, as I have my questions off to the side here, like what products out there, are they using now to help solve this particular problem? And they would probably say like, they might be using Facebook, might be one they're using, maybe a dating app. They might be using a dating app like Tinder. Is Tinder still a thing? Tinder or what's that new one called? Bumble or they are on Twitch, I guess. Or maybe they are on, what do developers even go? Reddit. Maybe they are on Reddit. Reddit's an app too. So, or maybe on LinkedIn as well. LinkedIn or the Meetup app is another one that's on there. So now we kind of like understand. Something just happened here that you guys probably didn't catch. We're basically have a competitive analysis just created for us because, we want to know what competitors of products out there. Like we're asking them in a way that's, that doesn't sound like a competitor product. Which like what products out there are they using currently to help solve this problem? We're talking about Facebook, LinkedIn, Meetup app, but like those are sort of competitors. The Meetup app is probably the biggest competitor within this particular application. Then you have like Facebook, LinkedIn, and other ones too, and also the dating app too could be a competitor as well. That one's like you're looking for love, but you're still looking for a connection. So those are some things that just happen. And then, you can go into an assumption here if you want. You can say like, for pain point, what would be a good pain point for them? Can we assume that, these users, do they want to make meaningful connections, or they just want to make friendship connections? I would just say friendship connections. And if a romantic one happens, it happens. If not, because Yes, they are. Yes, we are assuming that they are single, but we're also not really going to assume that they're looking for love, right? We just want to assume they're looking for like friendship and more platonic connections. And can we assume that they're looking for people more like them? Are they looking for people more like them? Or are they looking for different people? I would say they are looking for people who are more like them, more like them, because maybe they're looking for people who are more like them, so they can have something to talk about when they actually meet in person. It might be the most boring conversation ever, like a huge echo chamber, but that's what we're gonna go with. All right, and then last two things in my questions would be, um, you know, what could the company build to fulfill these user needs? So now we're trying to figure out what the company's really thinking, right? Like what could the company build to fulfill these user needs?